Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the channel. Welcome to the delayed flight. Swissair is leaving again, as it seems. And all these plane spotters here are waiting to watch the departure of Swissair. This is where I parked our plane, our Icon A5, because this will be a rehearsal of the things that we've learned so far concerning the Icon A5. And for the first time we will ditch the plane on the water. This is exactly what we will do. So let us ignore the departure of Swiss and let's get started. Now, the truth is that, of course, I feel a little bit uncomfortable here with all these plane spotters. And by the way, I reduced the speed of the rotation camera. For instance, if we go here, we see this free look momentum is reduced from default value, which is 50 to 28, so that we don't rotate that fast inside the cockpit. You see? I think it is better this way. A wonderful airport, the airport in Skiathos, a bespoke airport, one of the best airports for year 2024. So, all to one, the default camera. Once again, we will check the autopilot features and the new Garmin that we installed. We installed actually an autopilot and a new Garmin G3X. You may have a look at this tutorial, not a long time ago. We said that we have a problem with the speed of the aircraft. I mean, the aircraft now has almost double speed than it had before the installation. And always check that the parking brakes are on, because on idle the plane cannot stay still and it continues to accelerate. So here are the parking brakes. Okay, you set parking brakes to on. The startup of the plane, as we said, is one of the most easy. Only three things. I suppose you remember which these three things are. Fuel valve, which is somewhere here, isn't it? Here it is, on, okay. A little bit faster now because fuel is running. Battery is on, okay. And here is the key, as you have the key of your car. This is the key of your Icon A5. Okay, you see. Now if I release the parking brakes, the plane will ditch into the water. This is exactly what we want to do, but first we have some other things to take care of. The yoke works just excellent. It seems that no one is interested in our departure. The runway just behind us. Okay. The visibility inside the cockpit is not the best. This actually looks like a car, isn't it, or a motorcycle. So we press escape in order to have a look at our instruments better. We go to assistance, user experience. I suggest you to have this on if you practice with a new plane, and this one, cockpit cam to minimal. Okay, apply and save. Okay, go back, I resume. The second saved camera, all two, is the Garmin G3X. Here it is. We don't have any flight plan, so first we press B, letter B, you see here. to change our elevation. Okay, it is close to 0 because we are close to the sea. And then we said that in order to bring the autopilot features, we press somewhere here, isn't it? Exactly, you see. You press somewhere here, wherever you like. So here are the autopilot features of the installed autopilot for the Icon A5. I have showed you all these things in the previous tutorial, so let us correct our heading. I will not insist about the commands this time. Let us be more practical. So, heading up, isn't it? Here it is. You see here this magenta colored indicator. Our heading is somewhere here, and actually I will change the heading a little bit because slightly we will turn, and we will turn south, let's say somewhere here maybe. Okay, I will leave it here. So I set the heading, I engage the heading, as you see. I could as well, okay, press Alt-H, isn't it? But let us not, you see, Alt-H. Let us not insist on the keyboard commands. Okay. So, somewhere here, south, more or less. Let us set an altitude of, let's say, 3,000 feet, or even less. Have a look here. Yeah, I think 2,000, 2,500 will be just fine. Even less. We set also the vertical speed standby. Here it is. Have a look. Okay. You can as well use these two knobs here, nose up and nose down, in order to adjust your vertical speed, your rate of ascent actually. And you can change your altitude with these two knobs here, Alt up and Alt down. And as well you can change your heading with these two knobs, heading up and heading down. We didn't engage the autopilot, we have just the heading mode on standby mode, and also we have on standby mode the rate of ascent. So when we will depart, I suppose we will engage our autopilot. So now how we will depart? Okay, we will release our parking brakes. I repeat that the plane cannot stop when it is on idle. Okay. I will release my parking brakes here, and as soon as I am inside the water, I will retract the gear. Okay. Now, we have also this one here, if you have a look. Let me show you. We have the water rudder here. I will show you where the water rudder is. You see? Now, if I go outside of the plane, you see this is the water rudder here. But the truth is that if you have a look at the forums, okay, you can as well ignore it. I mean, you can steer the plane as well without the water rudder. So since we are not on the water yet, okay, I retract the water rudder. I can as well set my flaps if I want to. I mean, okay, I can press F7. Okay, flaps set to 15. So I keep pressing the brakes now because the plane has a tendency to accelerate even when the engine is on idle. Okay, so I released the parking brake and I keep holding the brakes. Here it is, you see. I keep holding the brakes. So I suppose we are good to go. I release the brakes. I hope no one will get injured. Okay, you see. I retract the gear, exactly, you see. So, a miracle called Icon A5. The plane works better at about 4,000 rounds per minute, and we are airborne. I don't have to retract any gear because we already retracted the gear. So now it is a visual flight, and I suppose I can engage the autopilot. Okay, here it is. Autopilot is engaged, you see here. Let me see now. Hands free already. I suppose we are climbing. Okay, I also retract my flaps. I suppose we are climbing at 2200 feet with a rate of ascent of about, let's say, 800, and we are waiting to level off at exactly 2200 feet. Excellent. And then we will land, and this will be all. I mean, it is just practice, our first landing on the water. Here it is. Here is your RPM, your rounds per minute. And ideal is about, let's say, 4,500, and actually 4,000 rounds per minute is the best for your engine. Hands-free. Our rate of ascent is about 700. Of course, I can increase my speed slightly. See here, rounds per minute change. I can as well go to red, isn't it? You see, but okay, no reason to stretch our engines. Let us see if we will stabilize at 2200 feet. I think we will do. 2200 is blinking, isn't it? There are some planes that when you reach your desired altitude, I mean, you see here this Alt changes to Alt S, altitude stabilized. But it seems that G3X, the Garmin G3X, does not have this feature. Anyhow, it seems that we have a straight and level flight. Exactly, you see, rate of ascent disappeared, straight and level flight. Let us enjoy a little bit our scenery. We have the option to land everywhere, and I suppose that we will land somewhere close to our airport, but not on the runway. Just keep an eye on your speed, at the moment about 100 knots. A wonderful plane. These are my saved cameras. I suppose we will go until the mountain here, or maybe even earlier. I can turn 180 degrees and go to land. We don't have any flight plan. Yeah. A sense of freedom with this plane. Our speed is stable, about 98 knots at the moment. If you are interested how to go outside of the plane, please let me know. There are already about, I think, 8-10 tutorials about adjusting your external cameras, isn't it? Let us start descending. Let's say all 2. 1.6, 1600 feet, and the rate of descent this time of about 600. Okay. The airport is behind us. Actually, Skiathos is behind us. We will just turn 180 degrees and we will land on the water. Perfect conditions. Elevation is about 0 since we land on the sea. If you land on a lake, it can be even, let's say, a few thousand feet. If you are, let's say, to Himalayas, it could be also a few tenths of thousands. So, I think it is more safe to use the knobs and not the keyboard command for our heading. I will reduce my speed. You see, we already leveled off at our new altitude of 1600 feet. So I will turn now, heading down here, you see, hands free, 180 degrees turn, and we go to land. Exactly. You may as well reduce your speed in order the plane to turn easier, but not that much. Not that much, because you may even stall, isn't it? Excellent. So I will descend to about 300 feet maybe. We don't have much time. I will use the knobs this time. 300 feet. A rate of descent of about 600. Hands free. I'm on autopilot. There is a small island just in front of us, isn't it? Okay, we will manage. I will increase the rate of descent to 1000 feet per minute. And we are expecting to stabilize at exactly 300 feet above the sea level. This camera I like very much, just in front of the cockpit. Ah, you see the shadow of the plane. Okay, 300 feet above the sea level. And soon we will disengage our autopilot and we will land on the water for the first time, for the very first time with the Icon A5. Not much traffic today at Skiathos Airport. Not at all, I would say. Now, when we will land, I will shut off the engines immediately, because as we said also in other tutorials, this plane on idle cannot stop, and we don't have any brakes, isn't it? We don't have any brakes on the sea. So the only way to stop the plane after the installation of the autopilot in the Garmin G3X is to shut off the engines. This is the only way the plane can stop. So we avoided this small island here in front of Skiathos Island. I can as well set my flaps. Okay. Have a look at your speed. Okay, I can play a little bit with my heading. I mean CTRL plus del. You see, slightly we change our heading because I want to land closer to the airport, which is right in front of us. Shall I record my landing? Is there any reason? Okay. So let us go to land. Yeah, wonderful weather conditions in Skiathos. And the wonderful town and the wonderful scenery. A bespoke airport, Skiathos Airport, famous for the landings here. Okay, flap set 15. Monitor your instruments. You see the shadow of the plane and the town of Skiathos on the left. So okay. Altitude close to 0, so soon we will land. Excellent. So I shut off my engines. Otherwise we cannot stop. Okay. And I turn because, as we said, the plane on idle cannot stop. So I think we managed to land successfully. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, this is really lovely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think everything is okay. I just wanted to show you the landing of the Icon A5 on the water. I think I will not insist much. We can have another look. I definitely suggest you to buy this airport. It is one of the best airports that I have seen on year 2024. The city of Skiathos depicted with every detail. Exactly. Last but not the least, I will have a try to take the icon out of the water, and I want to demonstrate this. So don't forget that engines, when they are on idle still, the plane accelerates, and when you land, you don't flare. With the J3 cab, with the Piper cab, and with this plane you don't flare. And it is good to shut off the engines when you land. So here it is. Have a look now. No one is interested about our landing. Yeah, pressing brakes, nothing changes. And right here, okay, I just set my gear. I landed? Yes, I did. It is good to set your gear down, otherwise you may again ditch in the sea. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is all for now. Thank you for watching this clip. Don't forget to comment, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You take care and bye for now.